Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lyds, and we're back for some more Thronebreaker, and last time we finished what was a very tricky puzzle, but we did eventually get the job done here. So we are now looking to progress further into the second half of Ongren, and we're expecting, certainly at some point, in perhaps the not-so-distant future, to run into Gurnakora, but don't just yet know exactly when that will happen. We know that there is a bridge here that we can pay a little bit of wood to cross, or build, so that we can cross it to now access this puzzle, which is a little bit tempting because we have theories that perhaps this pathway is actually something we can traverse through over here, although I'm not certain about that, and also not even sure how you get into this area, because can you thread the needle through there, or even when there's a bridge here? Yeah, I don't know. We might need to build this bridge if we want to access this area. Is kind of what I'm thinking. Can't sneak around that way, can we? Maybe it's worth a quick double check. Because usually when we have these options to build a bridge here for a little bit of, usually wood as a resource, it's just a shortcut. But with patience we can circumvent the need to pay that, but not 100% sure where the other route is. So maybe patience would still pay off, but I'm a little curious if maybe this is one of the few times when you actually do legitimately need to purchase that to have any chance of making it over there, in which case we would obviously want to do that. But otherwise, we have one other question mark, or one other exclamation point, I should say, a little bit further, which we don't know what it is exactly. Let's see, am I in the right area? Can we go straight north of here? Doesn't really seem like it. So that was one possible route we suspected we may have been able to take. Is this the other needle we were wondering if we could thread? Yeah, but this also looks impossible. So yeah, basically it's a matter of, do you just pay to build this bridge for, how much is it? It's not that expensive, right? It's 50 wood. It says we shall go round. It certainly implies that at some point we will be able to actually go around and still access that, despite it not being super clear if we can actually go through there, or if this is possible, how do you even get over here in the first place? I don't know, but maybe we wait it out and see if that is actually possible, in which case, this is what I was alluding to, don't know, or it is a question mark, this point of interest, don't know what that's all about, but I guess we'll give that a shot. Okay, we have our fast travel spot here now as well. Any other loot in this area? We are on low morale at the moment. I think we did recently find a shrine in here of all places, which is a little bit surprising. Doesn't seem like the type of place where one would be successfully praying. But, we'll see if we can get through, this encounter, whatever it might be, and get ourselves back to neutral morale. I think that'd be a nice little way to save that shrine.
Marched in silence. Too tired to keep in step with the drums.
We have drums.
The wind rose to a howl, and there was a loud crash of thunder.
Blast!
Meve leapt from her saddle.
We camp here. Pitch the tents, quickly!
In the swamp?
As the soldiers rushed to unload the wagons, a wall of water came down, soaking them to the bone. Later,
You mean rain, not a tidal wave, right?
Huddled, teeth chattering, violent coughs rocking their frames.
Yeah, that's not good.
The storm raged the night through, then finally passed before dawn. Meve emerged from her tent to wring out her coat. Reynard approached, his gait heavy, his face grim.
Your Majesty, several men of the 11th, a dozen or so, sought to flee last night. Sentries stopped and bound them. Now they await your judgment.
Ah, okay.
Meve fastened her still wet coat. She knew well why the men had tried to desert. They longed for their kin, had lost sight of victory, perhaps even no longer believed. Yet the marching and fighting seemed destined to go on forever. The Queen sympathized.
We've had some successes as of late, though.
Spent, and many doubts plagued her. Yet she knew the deserters had to be punished. The question was, to what extent? Meve entered the tent where the prisoners stood. Some of the men looked away, ashamed at their deed. Others raised their gazes to meet hers, their eyes red, tearful, pleading.
Okay, so on one hand, this place, understandably, is about as miserable as it gets. So from that standpoint, I could see how this would be the time when people would choose to desert. On the other hand, we have had some successes as of late, so it's not as if this is a time when, at least from that standpoint, with regard to the overall success or failure of our campaign, it's not as if people are particularly down in the dumps for that reason. I mean, we just recently defeated Caldwell. He did try to pull a trap on us of some variety, but then we managed to circumvent said trap, avoiding the Nilfgaardians that he then tried to send after us while we were stuck. So, from that standpoint, yeah, I mean, I think we'd be feeling at least okay about ourselves, sure. The odds are certainly still against us, but that's been the case for this entire time. So, in some ways, yes, I could see how this would be a very miserable moment, but on the other hand, not the worst possible time in our entire campaign here against the Nilfgaardians. Demote the deserters and withhold their pay, or hang every third deserter. So this, I take it, is considered the more extreme. I know it's only 1 in every 3, but I'd have to imagine hanging is probably generally considered more extreme than this.
You all know
I think
the
we do that.
penalty for desertion.
Meve said to the soldiers bound at wrist and foot.
I ought to have every last one of you hanged.
Yeah.
Yet, we've come far along a treacherous road. Endured hardships extreme. This I considered against your crime. You shall lose rank and receive no pay for 1 year. Now
1 year
get
is a
out of
long
my
time.
sight. Immediately.
The deserters
But they are
mumbled their
alive.
gratitude and rushed out of the tent, fearing the queen might yet change her mind. Meve then left for her quarters, anger and bitterness eating her up from the inside.
I mean, I think that was a reasonable solution. Once upon a time, we were a cruel and merciless dictator, but that is no longer the case. I swear, that was just circumstance, okay? But, yeah, and it had the icon down below suggesting that that was a significant decision that will have long-term implications. I don't know what those would be. You know, I would wonder, I guess, if those people would turn around and betray us in a more significant way going forward because they showed that they are not as committed to the cause as perhaps we would like. But on the other hand, we showed them mercy, so maybe now they trust us more than they did before? I don't know. But I mean, it seems reasonable. So at least at the moment, not understanding what the consequences of that decision might be, I stand by it. Okay. So now we wind around here, and we expect to run into a couple of battles.
Gods, have we passed the very threshold into hell?
Close ranks. None is to step off the path without clear orders to do so.
So you know we're about to step off the path. This bridge here. One that I assume we can cross. And there's a pathway here. I mean, I'm kind of curious to work our way around the battles at the moment and see what else is in here. Like, is there something over in this corner? I want to see how we get over here and if it's actually possible to get through there, or can we walk across this water section? I doubt it. See, I haven't been able to walk through this water of the same color before. But, yeah, when we're on low, I mean, I guess, you know, how are we going to get from low to neutral or higher morale if we don't at least do a fight first? I don't know. I guess maybe by doing that encounter before, I was hoping that maybe that might be enough to get ourselves a little bit higher morale since we showed mercy. Okay, this would seem like a place where you'd expect a hidden chest of some variety, but no such luck. It doesn't seem. Not even here. I would imagine a treasure chest later on will have this icon here, and this will be the spot. That's my guess. Okay, so I'm gonna try to go. Okay, I doubt we can go around you. I'm trying, but yeah, we can. Okay. Battle it is. I don't even know how to say that. Meve heard a throaty hoarse croak. I don't know. But saw no evidence of its source. The queen drew her sword and batted away the mosquitoes that swarmed her face. Only then could she see the creature as it emerged from the bog, a water hag. Her yellowed fangs dripping with saliva, her tongue writhing like a snake. Okay, it's a standard battle, so 3 rounds. No alternate cards or anything like that. We'll have to see what leader ability they have and all that stuff. We are on low morale, as we were saying before, so our card's a little bit weaker, which is one of the reasons why I was kind of hoping to temporarily circumvent this fight and double back to it on a later occasion. But let's see. After 5 turns on turn start, spawn torrential rain on any row only once per battle. Huh. That's an interesting one. Because in Thronebreaker, row effects are permanent at least for the duration of the round. But they can only do this once per battle, so I feel like we want to make sure that round 1 at least goes 5 turns. They use this ability, and then we pass, and that way they don't have it for round 2 or round 3, so maybe winning round 2 and round 3 is the strategy and focusing less on round 1. But we have, of course, recently learned of the power of our Skellige dudes if we can load up on a lot of them. Infiltrator plus Alchemist plus Tainted Ale is a combo that we certainly like. Oh, Cadaverin is new, right? We just recently added this. Damage 3 units by 3 if already damaged, destroy them instead. Okay. I mean, yes, Savior is good, but only when combined with specific cards, and we don't really have them in our hand right now. Gabor, also, the damage is certainly not bad, but I'm thinking that we really want to load up on as many Skellige guys as possible in this round. So, and again, the Infiltrator is nice too. Combine even more with the Tainted Ale. I mean, we could still give this a shot in round 1, but it does require that we play the Infiltrators pretty quickly, and therefore they would really need to play a big unit pretty quickly as well, which we can't necessarily guarantee is going to happen. So, not entirely sure how I feel about that. I feel like we dump 1. Okay, good. More Skellige. So this gives us long-term potential. We are using a bunch of our rerolls. Okay, so yeah, I'm not gonna get even greedier than I already got. Okay, so remind me the specifics. Shuffle any ally into our deck. Play 2 cards from our deck. Trigger all loyal abilities. So we could get several more of our Skellige dudes out here. We just need to make sure that we don't lose Dogger. He can't die, because then we can continue to replay him over and over again, and that allows us to recycle the Skellige guys over and over again. So I think we play Skellige dudes, and then we use that ability to put the Footman back in, and probably go Patricide and Disgraced Warrior, the only 2 Skellige guys we have left outside of Dogger. And since we don't have any Skellige guys in our graveyard at the moment, Dogger is not really significant just yet. So let's begin. Maybe with you first. Then we do this, and we put you back in. Obviously, the loyal abilities in these Arbalists are not really going to be all that impactful at the moment, but so be it. Get you guys out here.
Blood washes away all shame.
Yeah, and the rain will deal damage to us. The rain that we're expecting them to use at some point, which is not a terrible thing for the purposes of the Skellige dudes. Spawn 2 copies every turn start, drain random enemy by 1. So they will get bigger. I mean, we could destroy them. At least one of them. Fairly quickly. You're just a bigger version of the same thing. Okay. We could destroy them that way. It feels like that's probably overkill, but if they have more cards that are going to continue to drain us every turn, then it feels like it's going to be kind of hard to keep their units damaged, so we might just take this as is. They actually will survive this, won't they? You damage by 8. We'll survive with 2. We hit you back slightly. Yeah, I mean, as I said, there is actually a case to be made for not immediately destroying them, but think let's get you down.
Think I'm a beer?
Let's, I guess, at least destroy one of them. Then do that. And then do... Well, we could absolutely destroy you as well. Yeah, sure, we'll do it. Even if it's a chance to get you significantly damaged, but not quite destroyed, which perhaps would have been kind of nice. Okay, what is your deal? Move enemies to the opposite row. Apply rain. Okay. Random units. So yeah, that's potentially a way to get this guy destroyed. Which would be kind of nice.
Don't need no weapon.
Good. Good. That's what we wanted. At least through some means. Getting that guy destroyed. Okay. Then we want to play at least you, and I'm deliberately going to play you into the row that has rain.
Come here. Let's dance.
Then probably still destroy these guys. It is efficient. Removing multiple per turn like that. Even if we do usually like to get these guys destroyed. What is your deal? Drain lowest units. Darn. Okay, now we are out of Skellige dudes. Would kind of still like to use your ability. Did I forget to use it? I feel like I might have forgotten to use that owner ability last turn. So we could destroy 2, possibly 3. Can we get you to the point where you're damaged? If we go Patricide as well, we can. So, yeah, maybe that's worth doing. Go here. You're all gonna get destroyed. So I guess we hit you. Well, I mean, we could destroy you instead. Which, this is random. This is lowest enemy unit. Unfortunately, yeah. Any other round, we have a pretty decent chance of these guys becoming our lowest unit, but that's not really the case anymore. So, we might actually go for you after all. 4 units. And I guess hit this and just destroy the highest ones they have left. You're not draining anymore, so there's a case to be made for not destroying you. So you don't have any long-term value, but you are much higher base power, so I think we'll still go for it. And this is probably the last turn we'd like to take in this round. Are they going to play, though? Because there's the leader ability we expected, and we wanted them to use that and then end the round soon thereafter, because that means that they won't be able to use this ever again, and so they should have much less ability to hit us with the rain. So I think we do pass here. And I mean, the leeching guys could become decent targets for this stuff, but I think that's a later round in which we will do those things. We have a pretty solid lead here, and if they can't catch us in one turn, then we have a pretty huge advantage long term. It's not often that we are out to this much of a lead in round 1 against the generic battles, like matches like this. Oh, it's close. It's close. No! Oh, are you serious? Are you serious? 1 point away from them needing to play one more card than us. That stinks. Okay, so, I mean, it's still not the end of the world. They've 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whereas we've 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. So I actually don't know what they're going to go for here. They could dry pass, meaning not play anything, and then we just need to play 1 card to pass them, which we can certainly do. Or they could try to push and play multiple cards and try to win round 2 as well, in which case we have our Alchemist plus... Didn't we have a... We did have a second Infiltrator at one point, but I think we must have mulliganed it. Plus Tainted Ale. Gabor is certainly not bad. We have... Dogger is the really powerful card that we'd like to combine with our leader ability to make a lot of big stuff happen, but we may want to save that for round 3. I think you're our best throwaway option if they do dry pass. So I might hold on to you just in case that happens. Otherwise... Okay, well, yeah, you know what? That is not the first time we've mulliganed one of you into another one of you. Okay, so they are at least playing a little bit. So I think that means... Are we on... Do we have leader ability back? We do. So we could... If we use Dogger, we need to immediately leader ability him and probably, rather than use it to replay him from our deck, probably put him back into our deck and leave him there, because otherwise we run the risk of not drawing, or of him staying on the board and not being able to get him back in round 3 when he is definitely going to be our best win condition for round 3. So, I mean, we technically have one more card than they do right now, so we don't actually need to pass them on this turn. We just need to be able to catch them on our next turn if they are to pass. So if we do Alzur's Thunder, we destroy you, which these are organized slightly differently. We hit you for 5 damage, which means you will have 5 health left. You wouldn't have anything to drain. What if we go... It's a little bit awkward if we go Tainted Ale now. But if we do that, Tainted Ale now, and then we go for an Infiltrator, the tricky thing is that it just takes a little bit of time before that card gets destroyed and before we get the Stray's Infiltrator back on our side. So if they pass on their next turn, then we could get into a bit of an awkward situation. Gabor is the other relatively safe play here. I think we should be able to destroy... Yeah, we can destroy 2 of them, which is enough to catch them in 1 turn. So maybe we do go that route. It's the simple approach. Destroy you, and I don't think we can get the excess damage another time round, otherwise I think that actually would have been enough to destroy you, or at least come very close to it. Okay, so they're going pretty aggressively now. So I think that means now we do get more aggressive here. They might pass because they have a large lead. I don't know how the AI is going... I don't know how the AI is going to treat this. Is the tough thing. It's one thing playing against a human in multiplayer Gwent with a, an actual brain, but trying to determine when the AI is going to decide to pass is a little bit more of uncharted territory for me, especially because, as I said, it's not that often that we find ourselves in this situation where we have a card advantage on them, but they're still trying to push 2-0. So we do have our leader ability, which means we could play Dogger, and then, yeah, we could play Dogger, put him back into our deck with that leader ability and hope we draw into him. If not, we wait until we get our leader ability in round 3 to bring him back out. We don't have that many cards left in our deck, so maybe that's still relatively safe, and I have to imagine using Dogger here, yes, will absolutely be enough. And every time we use Dogger, he gets slightly stronger because all of our Skellige guys increase their base power by 1 from our Valmir's Horn. So maybe we do it. Maybe we do it. Because, yeah, this was the very thing that I was saying on our previous turn, why I was a little bit reluctant to break out Tainted Ale early. So let's just do the math here. Hold on. We were to go Stray's Infiltrator. And, I'm not sure if this technically comes back to our side quickly enough for this to work. So then we'd have to run the risk of going a card down in round 3, which honestly we may still be able to make work with Dogger, but it's just very unfortunate timing. Well, actually, this will go down to 1 at the end of this turn, and then go down to 0 at the end of our next turn. So if we play one more turn, this card is getting destroyed. So just need something that can outscore you. But Gabor, in and of himself, is still not enough. So yeah, it all comes down to, technically, I don't know if they have already passed and we pass. I don't think they're going to get the 1 more turn we need for this Stray's Infiltrator to come back to our side of the board, because it activates on their turn. After 2 turns, yeah, the start of their turn. I don't think that means we get you back in time. So I think we do have to go Dogger here. So yeah, unfortunately, we kind of saw it coming. Ultimately, I mean, this would have been an absolute breeze if they were not able to catch us by 1 point in round 1. But we now need to make sure we get Dogger back into our deck, because we want to use him in a later round. And so here, we're probably just using throwaways because we have basically all of our best... this is the key card that we are trying to get in round 3, so... and we should have already, more than passed them by throwing all of our Skellige guys back on the board here. I think we can go Bomber. Just get rid of you.
Yet again. Catch!
And sure, you. All right. I mean, if you wanna, technically it doesn't really matter if you destroy these guys because they're gonna go into our graveyard at the end of this round anyway. So yeah, the downside is that now that was, of course, our preferred Infiltrator Alchemist synergy. We do draw into Dogger. Okay, so that's nice because that means we don't need to wait to get our leader ability back to use him, which was something that otherwise would have been the case, which meant it would have been a little bit slower, and we may be able to get him to replay him multiple times in this case if we get some of our Skellige guys destroyed. So, given how we do have an Infiltrator in our hand already, I think we probably don't really want the Bomber here, especially now that we have 2. So, I think we're probably playing Dogger turn 1 here. That way we can immediately use all these guys on our next turn when they have units to target.
Come here, let's dance. Wanna know why I've got my scar?
Wait, have we heard that one before? The Joker line? I don't know if I remember hearing that one. Wanna know how I got my scar? Okay, they move, they put rain on, that's fine. So we do like destroying our Skellige cards at this point because we have so many on the board that it does on net still add points on the board when we do that, and it means we can use our leader ability to replay Dogger and get the Skellige cards that got destroyed back out here. So, unfortunately, you just barely can survive this, but you cannot. So I think we sacrifice you. So that powers everybody else up. Then you're not going to get any bigger long-term. Out of curiosity, yeah, Isabel's getting reasonably strong. Just wondering... The Infiltrators... I mean, yeah, with no way to power up their cards ourselves anymore, now that we've used the Tainted Ale, we may just need to settle for going after you. Even if you're not going to get boosted long-term, you still have a high enough base power that maybe that's not the end of the world. Oh, also we can use... Yeah... Could go proactive Xavier. No, actually, let's not do that. Let's go with this Raise. Raise Infiltrator. Because you would be the lowest card. So if they play one of those guys that weakens our lowest card, then Xavier would potentially get taken out, which we don't really want to have happen, because we want to use him to power Patricide, although Patricide is not that strong until they have a lot more units on their side of the board. So I think we just load up on these guys, basically. Basically do that for the time being. And that also means we don't really want to go after you. And you would survive, then hit you by 2. You'd have 2 power, which means the rain may very well end up taking you out. Maybe we're okay with that. Or we could wait around and see if we have a more guaranteed thing. I think that's decent enough probability that we can live with that. You come back, that's fine. So now, destroy the one with the highest power and self. Okay, so we may want to destroy you, which, granted, would have been perhaps most feasible to do with a Disgraced Warrior. Might not have been big enough. So we can hit you, for sure. Yeah, and then we can Alistair's Thunder, and that will definitely finish the job, right? That's probably what we're going to go for here. So if we hit you here, that means we need to deal 1 damage to you beyond what we're getting from Alistair's Thunder, which we can definitely do with these guys, so okay, we should be fine. We should be fine. So let's do that. Yes, you'll get damaged, but so be it. Rather not lose our highest card. Didn't even check to see if their highest card and our biggest card were how the values would stack up. That was one of our 1 power Skellige guys getting destroyed by the rain, as we hoped might end up happening. So yeah, now let's actually double check. If there is a unit on the opposite row, destroy the one with the highest power and self. So, gonna destroy a 13. We're gonna lose a 21, except if we wait one turn, we can get Patricide back with our leader ability by replaying Dogger. So I think we're actually fine with that. That's basically just negative 13 points for them. It slows us down slightly, but otherwise it's totally fine. Yeah, okay, that works. Let's, you do have Zeal, but let's go for a slightly preemptive Xavier, just because I do want to have somebody next to these Strays Infiltrators to power up with an Alchemist. Although you could actually make a decent case for powering up this Disgrace Brawler with this Alchemist. It's not bad. It's actually slightly better, is it not? Yeah, let's do that. Tell you the truth. Yeah, because these guys are bigger. Now, Dogger, we are going to end up replaying, so technically don't really need to put you next to Dogger, but do that.
What is it?
We'll hit you, I guess. I'm not going to use this just yet. Gonna wait until Patricide. Oh! Well, I mean, that works too. I mean, unfortunately means we now have reduced the value of the Alchemist, but yeah, no, that admittedly should have seen that one coming. So now, okay, we could wait again. We could wait again, and that would mean that we leader ability on our next turn, and now bring back both Patricide and the other guy that we just maybe sort of accidentally sacrificed a little bit. And we could Alchemist, but we should make sure we don't do it to someone on the opposite row, otherwise we are going to end up losing them. Isbel also would be a little bit proactive. I mean, maybe we just wait and play Xavier on our very last turn and use that Zeal. So let's do...
If anyone asks,
this.
you've not seen me.
We can do that. And we have a big enough lead here that I'm not too concerned about it. Yes, we lose Patricide. We expected that to be the case. So he doesn't count as someone who boosts everyone else when he gets destroyed. I mean, either way, we're going to get him back. On this turn now, yes. So let's do that. So we're going to get rid of you only to replay you, as we've done several times before. Get you, and let's get Barnabas as well. Probably the best choice. So you're pretty... Oh, we don't have any Alchemists left, so not that it really matters, the positioning here.
Ludicrous! Give me some of that. Waiting for a personal invitation.
Spam these guys. Patricide is back, so that is who we're going to target with Xavier. Will have to be last turn, because otherwise Isbel will not have time to use her ability. Then...
Yes, I'm on it.
You are not damaged. Darn. That's interesting. Returning an ally to hand. I mean, that's basically our leader ability in a way. So it would allow us to replay Dogger. I don't really think that's necessary because we just got everyone out from our graveyard, and I don't really expect many of them to go back in there, since at this point they've high enough base power that they're probably not going to get... You could get destroyed again if we were to duel someone over here. So I guess, technically, that is still the best option. Okay. Oh, right. That was just leader ability. It also means we have another turn to take here, I guess. But we want to wait to use you. So now we go, I guess, Isbel. Yes, we want to wait to use you before we play Dogger. So could be Xavier here, because now we've given ourselves, with that extra turn, a little bit more margin. A little bit more time to do our stuffs. Do they have anything that's leeching stuff? Nah. You'll be fine, Isbel. You'll be fine. I mean, you're gonna destroy absolutely everything, and to the point where this is over. Okay, that is, especially when you get hit by the rain, a little bit concerning, because now we basically do need to press this button, and you know, it would have been nice maybe to have this be the very last thing we did and just guarantee that everyone is going to be destroyed on their side of the board, but we could probably still make that happen a little bit later, right? Right? Yeah, we can't afford to delay that. So now we'll go Xavier. This is a little bit proactive because we're going to use it on Patricide. Patricide doesn't need it at the moment. But we're going to use you / you to destroy it. Yep, there you go. They go after Isbel, as we anticipated they might. So obviously we've already won. But obviously we're going to, nonetheless, completely destroy every single card that they have. And let's see. The way we do that is basically loading up on Skellige guys, getting some destroyed. Yeah, we'll destroy you just to power ourselves up a little bit. And get some value out of Dogger, as we were saying before. guess we'll do this. He'll hit back a little bit. We probably could have gotten the kill if we had weakened you with these guys first, but I admittedly did not stop to do the math first to see exactly how these numbers were going to play out. But as you can see here, I think we're going to be fine. I think we're still going to achieve what it is that we set out to achieve. I think it's still going to work. I do think it's still going to work. So this, at this point, should not come as much of a surprise, but it turns out those Skellige guys are pretty darn strong. Alright, so that is big, for a few reasons. We get a little more in the way of resources, yes, but we go from low morale up to neutral morale, which is a nice boost as well. And now means that at the very least, we are in better shape for our next encounter, but now, if necessary, we can go over to this shrine and get ourselves up to high morale, if that is truly something we think is necessary. At this point, we should be able to either go through to this battle or loop around. I assume we can do something over here. That might just be a dead end over there, but there's probably a chest or something, right? Surely there's something over there. But so then, you know, again, we go through here. Maybe we can access the puzzle from this route. Otherwise, we'll end up building the bridge here, and presumably there's something that's going to happen in this town over here. But with that being said, I think this is probably a good place for us to wrap up here. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you next time.